And we are live. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel, the Ango YouTube channel. Ango Show is now live. We're talking about AEW Dynamite tonight, and I thought it would be kind of fun just to sit and relax and talk to you guys, man. It was a pretty good episode of Dynamite. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I thought it was pretty solid. I thought it was a pretty good episode. I think that's fair to say. What did you guys think? I'm kind of curious to see how you guys all feel about the show. I thought it was pretty solid. The matches obviously were pretty exciting too. I think the big topic, obviously, if you're watching this, it's the title of the video, right? Buried Alive match is coming to AEW, and I'm kind of excited about that. That was kind of a nice little. What do they call it? Surprise, I definitely didn't expect that coming from AEW, so that was pretty cool. I think the big thing is obviously everybody's talking about AEW right before Revolution. For those who missed it, AEW Rampage this Friday will actually be live. But for some reason, AEW is not promoting it hardcore. I thought that was a very interesting choice. So that will be interesting. So technically this is the go-home show for Dynamite, but then Rampage will be like the real go-home show. And I think that's going to be a very, very interesting Friday night. Obviously, Friday night, we're going to have SmackDown. Then we'll have a live episode of Rampage. Saturday, there won't be any wrestling pay-per-view, so keep that in mind. No wrestling pay-per-view Saturday, but then Sunday, Revolution is on Sunday. There's going to be about 7 matches on the card. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think the Revolution build has been pretty fucking terrible. But I'm going to say this. I feel like the reason why it's terrible is because they just haven't been doing, like, building week to week to week to week on all of the biggest stories. So I don't know. I feel like every match should kind of have a significant build-up. I think there's a difference. I think, and I'll give them props, right? Like, when you look at the women's match, I feel like they've done a really good job with that. I think when you look at what they've done with the Acclaimed and the Guns, I feel like they did a good job with the story. I feel like Hangman and Mox obviously have a good story. I feel like it's not so much the storytelling issue. See, that's the thing. I think there's a lot of people who are confusing storytelling, good storytelling, and continuity. And I'm not saying the build to Rampage is fucking terrible to the point where, like, there's no build. There is a build to it, but I feel like certain matches really feel prioritized and other matches are just kind of like whatever. Like, it's just kind of randomly going up on TV. And I feel like that's kind of the big issue. When I watch AEW, it's like, man, like, today was a good episode. You know what I mean? I'm super excited to see what happens with Powerhouse Hobbs, Wardlow, Samoa Joe. But then also at the same time, I kind of get a little frustrated because I'm just like, man, if this was a fucking priority every single week, I feel like people would really enjoy it and people would want it more and more and more. And now it's all about timing, right? So the reason why I bring this up is like Powerhouse Hobbs won the Face of the Revolution ladder match. Awesome, by the way. Awesome match. I thought the right decision was made. I feel like if they picked Andretti, Konosuke Takeshita, or Powerhouse Hobbs, I feel like any one of those three would have been a really good choice. So I have no problem with that. But they made the right choice, right? They go with Powerhouse Hobbs. And it's like, I'm excited about Powerhouse Hobbs getting the chance to go for the TNT Championship. He's going to compete for the TNT Championship next week on Dynamite. We have Samoa Joe versus Wardlow at the pay-per-view. So now I'm kind of like pissed because what's the likelihood that Wardlow will win the championship and then compete against Powerhouse Hobbs the following week and then lose the title? That doesn't seem very likely. So the thing is, like, the timing of all of this is just terrible. I swear. Like, that's the big issue. Like, we can complain about stories or no stories or whatever the case may be. I thought Dynamite, like, they've done a decent job. But where they've done fucking absolutely garbage is the timing of it all. And I think that's it's just one of those things I don't understand about AEW. It's one of those things I don't understand because I thought, like, like, okay, Powerhouse Hobbs wins on Dynamite. Cool. Wardlow, Samoa Joe have a story. That's supposed to be the thing going into the pay-per-view. So what does that match mean? You know what I mean? It's just such a strange thing, man. It's such a strange thing, and I don't know, like the structure of it is really the fundamental issue. I think the Elite and House of Black deserved at least a solid 4 to 6 weeks of a storytelling build-up. They didn't get that. I'm excited to see the match. Obviously, I have some pretty high hopes for it, but that match there wasn't a proper build to it, which sucks. The visual of the Elite going face-to-face with House of Black tonight was so sick, and it's just a little disappointing, you know what I mean, to see that. It's disappointing to see that this match has basically been thrown together in a span of, 2 weeks? So that's something I'm just definitely not too thrilled about, obviously, but the pay-per-view will slap. I mean, I say this all the time. Dynamite, Rampage, they have great crowds, right? So because they have good crowds, I would say that Revolution will probably be a solid show. But I feel like when you look at, and I get it, they're two different companies. When you look at the two different companies, there's just such a difference in the way that they do booking. Because like I said, I mean, for the last 8 weeks, Dynamite has been really good television, right? But like, imagine how much better it would be if Tony Khan every single week was like building with strong details going into the thing, like going into the pay-per-view. I feel like Triple H has done a really good job. And I'm not saying Triple H is perfect, by the way, but I'm just saying like Triple H every single week is I think every single week he's kind of building on the same story. To see the Elite and House of Black get a 2-week build up, it's kind of shitty, I think that's shitty. But what do I know, dude? Triple H gives me like $1 million to say bad things about AEW, so but no, I honestly loved, like, Powerhouse Hobbs winning was great. Riho winning tonight was great. I thought that was cool. I thought AEW did a great job with like booking decisions tonight were good. I feel like what was really strange tonight, but like it was like a good kind of strange. The Tag Team Battle Royale, a lot of people don't like the idea of Orange Cassidy and Danhausen winning, but I actually like it because I don't want Aussie Open to go to pay-per-view and have this amazing match that we know they're going to lose, right? Like, I don't think there's going to be a chance in hell that we're going to see new tag team champions on Revolution. I think the Guns retain. So the idea that you have Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, again, people are hating on that, but like, I see them in the match. They're obviously heels. The Acclaimed need baby faces in that match. So obviously you have Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. I mean, in terms of a balance between baby faces and heels, I think they made the right choice. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think people just have crazy expectations, but I think AEW tonight, in terms of match outcomes, I thought they did a good job. And then, like I said, even with the ladder match, I think Powerhouse Hobbs was the right choice. But if they would have had Andretti, if they would have had Andretti, or even really anybody but Sammy Guevara, honestly, but Konosuke, Takeshita, like if they would have had him, Andretti, Powerhouse Hobbs, I think all three of those would have been significant choices. But I feel like, I feel like AEW was solid, man. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm just being honest, though. I think fucking Revolution sucks. Like, it's going to suck in terms of, like, the overall, like, the match quality will be great, but when you watch the actual pay-per-view, it's going to fucking suck in comparison to their television, which is actually a trend that I've noticed with AEW, is, like, their television shows have been, like, really solid in-ring stuff. Revolution will be really, really good in terms of in-ring, but because there hasn't been this proper build, it's going to fucking suck in that regard. But what do I know? You know what I mean? Oh, I'm having too much fun. Is Aussie Open full-time in AEW, leading to Will Ospreay coming? I mean, that would be the right move. I like Aussie Open. I like AEW's tag team division. Aussie Open hasn't got a big win yet on AEW, but I feel like if they decide to bring in Ospreay, they could. Someone in the chat gets it. Someone in the chat gets it. Let's go. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, dude. That's so funny. But yeah, no, I feel like Aussie Open and AEW definitely does need that big win. Y'all are freaking hilarious. Aussie Open definitely needs a big win on AEW, but they're not technically full-time with AEW. So I don't know exactly what the situation is there. But if they're going to bring in Will Ospreay, then ideally, if you're going to bring in Ospreay, and I don't know how this is going to work, but let's just say this happens, I would have Aussie Open at some point take the tag team championship belts from the Guns. But that's why I'm very curious to see how that tag match goes at Revolution. And that's why I'm fond of them not winning that match. Because we know there's no chance in hell that they're going to go to pay-per-view and beat the Guns, the Acclaimed, Jay Lethal, and Jeff Jarrett. So people got to think a little bit logically about that. I think that's one of the biggest things I'm noticing when I'm watching like AEW is we all want something to happen and then it doesn't happen. But like there's got to be a logical reason as to why something's not happening. I think WWE and AEW really don't. I don't know how to explain it. AEW and WWE, they both kind of make that mistake. Honestly, I feel like they both kind of make that mistake. Tim Glover says, I'm not watching this pay-per-view. I'll wait for a better one. Pay-per-view builds matter, dude. There's a reason why most people in the business of wrestling, pay-per-view, YouTube or Twitter, like content creators, a lot of people don't really give a shit about the build for Revolution. But it's like I said, I said this last time too with AEW pay-per-views. In 2022 for sure. Like now I'm not trolling, right? Like I'm being dead ass serious too. Like this is not a trolling thing in the world. Like I'm not trolling here. Last year in 2022, AEW's pay-per-view build sucked. They really did. But AEW is the type of company where like the pay-per-view builds can suck and the storytelling can suck, but they're still going to deliver such fascinating entertainment on the television screen with the matches that if you paid money for a ticket to go to the show or to watch the pay-per-view, just from the perspective of watching in-ring wrestling, it's going to be really, really entertaining. So, to AEW's credit, they are able to get away with it. They are able to get away with it a little bit. Like if WWE was not putting captivating TV, storylines, things like that, they wouldn't be selling pay-per-views. Because WWE's not trying to sell you on the in-ring action, AEW does. So that is something that people actually need to pay attention to because it's a very real thing. But I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and act like AEW storytelling is good though, because it's not. It's not. And I'm so tired of this fucking bullshit, honestly, like on social media, on YouTube. It's like you can't criticize AEW or you can't criticize WWE without somebody saying like this is like the weirdest thing, bro. I don't get it. If I criticize WWE, I'm on Tony Khan's payroll. If I criticize AEW, I'm on Triple H's payroll. Like, when did we as a society get to the point where like we all have to like the same shit when it comes to wrestling? Like, I need somebody to answer that question. When did we as a society get to the point where me and you have to have the same exact fucking views when I'm watching this television show? I like wrestling. I like storytelling. I can watch AEW and not be mad that I watched AEW. I can watch AEW and be like, yeah, the storytelling kind of sucks, but I can still enjoy the show because I like good wrestling. Just like I could watch WWE and be like, the wrestling's not that great, but the storytelling is. I don't know like why me and you have to have the same opinion. Shout out to Brian Medina, member, hitting a big milestone. 17 months. Thank you, Brian Medina. Appreciate that. Guys, if you want to become a YouTube member, just go ahead and click the join link. I think I also have Nightbot still in here, so hopefully that still works. Hopefully. Do you think AEW will do an all-women's pay-per-view or build up ROH's women's division? That's a hard question to answer. I think AEW should focus on their women's division. I feel like they've actually done a really solid job. In 2023, they've done a really solid job of improving their women's division. I don't want to speak on the ROH women's division because I haven't watched ROH yet. So once I watch ROH, then I can give you a better answer. I think they should build the women's division. But of course, that's kind of the beauty of what, we'll see what happens as far as that goes. Thank you, Brian, for becoming a member for 17 months. WWE isn't better than AEW, and AEW isn't better than WWE. They all have their downfalls and matches and etc. Yeah, I mean, like, isn't that the thing, right? Like, why does one have to be better than the other? Why? Why does one thing have to be better than the other? If someone could give me a good answer to that, I'd really appreciate it. Because I feel like there's things that AEW that have, like, they have a lot of strengths, but they sure as hell have a lot of weaknesses. The same thing could actually be said for WWE as well. So I'm just curious, like, why? I never understood this idea that one company has to be better than the other company. Wrestling fans who have $0 tied into the businesses of WWE, AEW, Impact, New Japan, how those companies operate literally have no fucking impact on you individually. And you got to sit here and wave a company's flag. That is so strange. That is so strange. And it's actually stranger that people think, and trust me, I see this. I see it in the comments of JD's videos. I see it in the comments of my videos. As if any YouTuber or personality, like, I swear to God, this is fucking mind-boggling to me. Like, any of us truly give a shit about which company is better. It beats me, dude. I'm reading some people in the chat right now, and it just mind boggles the hell out of me that sometimes it's 2023. And we got people who are concerned with whether or not I like the same things as you. I like stories, bro. I like stories. I like characters. I like the cringy bullshit too. The story, I think the funniest thing ever too, by the way, was I remember at one point I sat there and I was like, I don't understand why. I love this story. I was telling people on stream before, I was like, I don't understand why people fucking love Orange Cassidy. To me, it's just not serious. It's bullshit. It kills everything about wrestling, blah, blah, blah. And then I remember watching it. I was like, man, like, I get it now. I get it now. So, if you like Orange Cassidy, who am I to tell you fuck Orange Cassidy? I feel like Orange Cassidy, I caught on to Orange Cassidy because I started to enjoy Orange Cassidy. Oh, he killed wrestling. This isn't wrestling. I see that bullshit, guys. I swear to God. I don't get it whatsoever. It's fucking strange. It's the strangest thing I have ever seen in my life. I at first I didn't like it, and then eventually I liked it. It's cool. Why do I give a shit if other people like something or dislike something? Like it or don't. It's up to you. Shout out to AEW Williams Pedro Omega Mundo Leon for subscribing. Thank you. Tony Khan convinced you guys there was a war between these two companies because Tony Khan was trying to grow AEW and you know, he was trying to take advantage of the fact that you guys were all supportive of the company or whatever. But it's just weird. Like, why would I don't know. Orange Cassidy and Danhausen, they win the Casino Battle Royal. A lot of people are up in arms about this, and I get it. I understand a lot of people don't like it. They don't care for it, whatever. but it makes sense. And if it makes sense, I like it. That's kind of how I view wrestling. And some things don't make sense, and I still like it. Mark says, I was hoping the Kingdom would win. Well, the Kingdom actually came out and got zero reaction. So, that's kind of what happens, though, when you put people on TV once in a while. When you put people on TV once in a while, people ain't going to react. Consistency matters. I'm kind of in the realm with these live review shows, too, if I could be completely honest. I'd rather not do them. I'd rather not do them for weekly television. I don't know. I've been thinking a little bit about maybe doing something different with this type of stuff, because I feel like with live review shows, there's a lot of content creators. They're just going to bring out their, match by match. They're going to break down every single detail, and that's cool. And I like that people do that. But for me personally, I just think it's a lot better to talk about what I enjoyed and what I didn't enjoy. And tonight, as far as the actual show was, I thought it was pretty solid. There wasn't anything I disliked. So, but I'm excited for Ring of Honor and stuff too. Mr. Corona dropping a $1.99 super chat. You ready for a 3+ hour Revolution pay-per-view? 8 matches for fuck's sake. Hey. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm actually kind of happy. The only match that kind of worries me is the Bryan Danielson and MJF match, because that match is going to be an hour long, which I don't know how I feel about MJF working a Iron Man match. But I'm sure MJF is going to... I don't know. I'm pretty sure MJF is going to cheat or bring somebody in to help him out. I don't know. It's a very strange thing. But on the contrary, Mr. Corona, for 3 hours is better than 5, and 8 matches better than 15. So I'll take it. I thought the building for MJF and Bryan has been okay. It's been decent. Thank you, by the way. I don't know if I said thank you. I'm trying to peel this plastic off my bottle. Sorry. But thank you, Mr. Corona, for the $1.99 super chat. I appreciate it. And yes, I will be live for Ring of Honor tomorrow. I'm excited to see what Ring of Honor looks like. If you guys watch AEW Dark, you can see what the new presentation looks like. It's a pretty fucking stupid decision, by the way, to have your YouTube show look the same as Ring of Honor. But it's a cost-cutting measurement for Tony Khan. The richest wrestling owner of all time is trying to be smart with his money, I guess. Can you please explain why the heel turn happened for Saraya and Toni Storm? Is this because Mercedes is now a heel? Is she coming to AEW? I mean, she could be coming to AEW, and it would make sense for her to come into AEW. But as far as AEW goes, I don't want to see Mercedes in AEW. I don't think they'll handle her well. She'll get maybe a couple big matches or whatever, but I don't think there's anything exciting about her being in AEW. That doesn't really attract me. So why the heel turn? I mean, it could have just been Tony Khan's booking. I don't know. It's random, dude. It's random. Sometimes things happen and it just doesn't make sense, and I don't know. It gets kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Will I keep doing live streams after Raw and SmackDown? Yes. Yeah. I'm just not enjoying AEW. I can't really break down things in AEW because things are just scattered all the time. It's just not a product I care about right now. Even with a solid episode today, it's just not something I genuinely care about. Lost interest in it. But that's kind of what happens when Triple H pays me a lot of money. So stupid. The fact that people think that's ridiculous, dude. MJF going to hold the title until 2024, right? Anthony, that's a good question. No, I don't think he should, but I think Wardlow needs to be the guy to take the belt off of MJF. And if they wait until 2024 to do that, I think that would be a ridiculous idea. I don't think this whole story of MJF leaving with the belt is going to be good anyways, because I think a lot of people see through the bullshit. But Brian Medina says MJF hires the Blackpool Combat Club to win. Yeah. If that's the case, count me out of AEW. I probably won't review it anymore. Ango, what do you think about John Hennigan, a.k.a. John Morrison, winning the MLW Open Weight Championship against Davey Richards Tuesday? I'm not a John Morrison fan. Not much more to say than that. AEW lost it after Cody left and further. When CM Punk left too. Yep. Yeah, I kind of agree. Yeah. Christian Cage cuts a nasty promo tonight, by the way. Crazy promo. And that promo was pretty insane. It was... Christian's freaking good, bro. I know people love MJF. I think Christian's better than MJF. Sorry. I just do. Christian cuts this great promo. What's really dope is you have Jungle Jack Perry. He comes out. I'm sorry, he doesn't come out. They have a vignette video thing pop up on the screen on the Tron. And what was really cool was Jack Perry is burying the tombstone or whatever. He's setting up the tombstone at the graveyard cemetery. So it looks like they're bringing a Buried Alive match to AEW and probably at Revolution. It's an interesting choice. I wouldn't have done that just a few days before the pay-per-view. I would have done that as part of the setup or the story like a month ago. But that was pretty cool, yeah. Buried Alive match was one of my favorite match types in wrestling. Because it's just freaking ridiculous. And I do like the fact that AEW is going to like some of those cool old things, you know. Like when they do a coffin match, like we don't really see that anymore on TV. So I like when AEW brings stuff like that to television. We'll see, obviously, what happens, but guys, I want to call it a night. I've been live for 30 minutes, and I do genuinely appreciate all you guys sticking with me, but I just don't care about Dynamite, and that sucks, man. Just sucks. And I don't know. It's not really worth talking about anymore. Solid episode. Revolution. I wish I could tell you guys I'm like genuinely excited about it, but when you're not properly building up these shows, it's not really worth it. It's not really worth it for me. I'll be live tomorrow for Ring of Honor and Impact. If Ring of Honor sucks, it's okay because I love Impact, so I can talk for hours about Impact. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate everybody stopping by. And, yeah, thank you guys. Have a wonderful night.